Hey everyone, it's Angry Turtle, and if you somehow do not know me from my main channel, Angry Turtle is the name of my gaming channel, but here I want to share my experience with gamer health, fitness, and fighting obesity. As I did it, I changed my life by a lot. And my main goal was to do it with minimum effort, maximum results. I want to stay fit, but I don't want to put much effort. As I'm a gamer, I have full-time job. I'm a gamer. I definitely do not have a lot of time to spare. And simultaneously, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any medical advice for you. I'm a gamer. My background, I have some background in science, but that was long time ago. I do have master's degree in industrial biotechnology, but that is a long story, not relevant in here. Here, I'm a gamer, but I did a lot of research into the topic in order to help myself and hopefully help you in the future if my experience can be helpful for you. As what I heard and what I remember, someone said, obesity is not your fault, but it is your problem. And I absolutely agree with that. It was my problem. It's no longer my problem. No longer. I'm still a little bit, tiny bit overweight, to be accurate. My BMI is 25. Then it should drop by 1 if I want to be in a considered healthy range. But that's not a big issue at this point. What it was, you can see on the thumbnail, and I will jump back to the picture, and I will share my journey with you, the starting point, and so on. That's my starting point. You can clearly see there is some extra weight. I have a picture from the beach as well. I mean, not quite a picture. Really bad quality cut frame from a holiday video as I was avoiding the camera, and I'm there without a shell. Therefore, cover your eyes if you don't want to see it, but I will show you as... Yeah, that's only fair to show the starting point. Then that is me a year ago. Terrible, terrible frame from the video, but you can clearly tell there is some extra fat that shouldn't be present. The gamer lifestyle is not friendly, plus my weakness to everything sweet, especially chocolate and ice creams, definitely at fault in there. And now, to do not overstretch this video too much, let's get to the point. This is my journey. You can track it from last year. It started in September, early September last year when I started my journey, and the main theme is little steps, turtle steps, moving forward, and on the way learning. As when I'm at work, I have full-time job, I have an ability to listen to audiobooks, podcasts, presentations, and every single side of the story. I love listening to both sides of the story. I listen to carnivore fanatics, I listen to vegan fanatics, I listen to more in the middle people, to keto diet promoters, to people that are opposing the keto diet, everything, as I want to find the middle and what is actually the truth, which is quite difficult. And if you are on the internet, there is tons of Brahmin feces. Therefore, it is some serious filtration required. Here is the journey. It's my weight, starting point in pounds. I decided to add in pounds. As for ease of my calculations, I'm using kilograms. Then this scale is in kilograms. This will be in pounds. Then we are going from 236 down to 187 over the period of this journey. And the second graph that is even more important for me, I was not from the beginning, but it's aligned with those both dates. I started measuring the thickness of fat on my belly, as this is where my body stores fat. Then that's surprisingly very good indication how well you are doing. Then there are some measurements. There is missing points in weight for the first 2 months. As I was not really sure if I will be doing any progress, then I decided to just go with it without doing accurate measurements. But after that, when I saw the results, basically running out of empty holes on my belt, I started doing very accurate measurements for myself, and now I'm sharing those. If this will be motivation for anyone, it will be great. But let's start. My starting point in here, 10th of September last year. I was too heavy. I was pre-diabetic, frequent headaches, lack of energy, and dealing with stress by eating chocolate and ice cream. That was my default solution. And what I did at the start point, I did very little. I decided to do not buy any sweets at work, no snacking. Leave the machine alone. Leave the vending machine alone. For first 2 weeks, there was like no snacking, and I noticed that I feel slightly better when I just stop snacking. Then what I did, the second step was to add some exercise, 10 minutes a day. Then for next week, I was exercising 10 minutes a day. It's not much, and I was able to actually motivate myself to do that. I changed it later in the future, but it was 10 minutes a day. And from this point, at work, like I'm lazy, I commit to that, and I put it into the name on this channel. I kept forgetting to take any food with me to work. Therefore, I decided, okay, not only no snacking at work, I will not eat at work for 8 hours. Then that was my another step. I wasn't eating at work for 8 hours straight. Next, I was seeing results. I was basically running out of holes on my belt. Then definitely I was shrinking. And I was so excited that I decided to make my approach even more lazy and cut down on feeding and eat only twice a day. Then for next, like I think it was 3 weeks until I started exact measurements. To this point, I was eating just twice a day. And from this point, I was so excited about making those results and saving time that I wanted to check what will happen if I will eat just once a day. It wasn't like 100% restricted, as I didn't cut all the calories outside of eating. I still had coffee and tea, coffee with some milk, sometimes chocolate, tea with sugar. Then it was one main meal, and my focus was to first provide in this meal something healthy like veggies, unprocessed food. That was the main theme of this meal. It was a huge meal, and I had some desserts, of course, some chocolate or ice creams or something, but one meal a day, and my results continue. And here I started to actually record my weight changes, and you can see the jumps are pretty high. It's going up and down. Therefore, you shouldn't be discouraged if your weight goes up, as I was on quite restrictive eating for this period, once a day, and still sometimes the weight was going up like over a kilogram, sometimes close to 2 kilos, which is like 4 pounds going up for no reason. I figured out later doing more research that amount of water your body holds can vary quite greatly. Then that's most likely what was going on in there. There is a bigger dip at the end of 2021, and this is not accidental. I did something, I saw a lot of videos telling me that fast is crazy beneficial for my health. Then I tried. I did 3 days without food, just water, nothing else, just water, and the weight dropped down, then go back up, and I didn't notice any crazy benefits to my health from that 3-day fast. I don't know, maybe I'm different than anything else. And then I was super hungry. Whoever tell you that you will not be hungry without food, they lie. You will be hungry. Then I was super hungry. Then I ate more following days, and it was like down and up. Then, do I recommend it? No. It's a lot of fighting your hunger with very minimalistic results. And at the end of 2021, what I should mention as well, it was a very stressful period for me. Due to family issues, basically family breakdown. But what I decided to do, I decided I will stick with the diet, with life changes, I will not go back to eating chocolate and ice cream, and I was just walking to deal with the stress. I had too much stress. I went outside, I walked. Then around this period, I think it started before my fast. This fast was one of the things I tried to deal with it. So somewhere in here, I started walking a lot to deal with stress. Before that, I was walking sometimes, but this was a point that I was walking more, and I actually kept walking in my schedule even after that. What else I did? I did change a little bit my exercise to do it like 3 times a week for about 30 minutes. And I was trying to stick with that from the 2022. When does it start? Somewhere in here. I did additional change. When I was going to visit my friend, we were doing a proper training. I have a friend that have a lot of weights and stuff at home. Then we were doing a proper training once per week. Then you can say almost like a gym type stuff. Instead of drinking beer, we're doing a training and talking about very important adult stuff like, nice melons and peaches, if you know what I mean, trying to keep it YouTube friendly. Then yeah, that's what changed in here. And I continue for a little bit longer with 1 meal a day, but it was never intended to be permanent solution. After a while, I went back to eating a little bit more. I think it was somewhere in February. Oh, as well, February update. I was already much thinner, and I will show you how I was looking in February. That's a picture from a video I did when I decided to go for a swim in ocean during the winter. Then I look even thinner here than I actually was, even slimmer due to this super cold water. It was so freaking cold that it was such an amazing feeling, and my health was already so much better that I could just go and do it. I was happy that I did it. On my main channel, there is even video update when I went there and did it. Then that's how I was looking already, like just several months into life changes, and I was feeling much better. Then somewhere from this point, I started eating more again, but as you can see, my weight was still trending down, which is really good. On the graph above, you can see that amount of fat on my belly was still going down, which is perfect. I was learning on the way how my body responds to different things and keep analyzing all the data, what I should eat and what I shouldn't. And I will share it, whatever I found, all my findings in the future video. I don't want this one in particular to be too long, but I continue with my schedule, with my lifestyle changes, mainly whole food, a lot of plants like veggies, fruits, but I'm not a vegan. There's some meat, milk, eggs included. Not too much meat though, as it's just way easier to do food without using meat for everyday basis, with exception to barbecues when meat is pretty much welcome. And what I should say in here as well, I think somewhere like around March, I was changing a little bit, and I didn't focus too much on regular like scheduled training. And rather than that, I was doing exercises wherever I can. And surprisingly great results. Don't listen what people tell you in the internet. You don't actually need a proper training to have great results. I was doing like push-ups when I have a moment, like one series of push-ups. When I took my little daughter to the playground, I was doing some pull-ups. Then I have 2 dumbbells at home to do some exercise when I need to step up from a computer for a moment to stretch, do some like dumbbell crawls or push dumbbells above my head, whatever, like without any particular schedule, just do some exercises over time during the week. It helps tremendously, and that's the minimum effort. You just need like less than a minute to stand up and do some exercises, which is absolutely great. As well, I was experimenting with different meals that I can make, like I'm basically cooking once per 3 days to make a meal that is high in nutrients and relatively low calorie density. That's helped greatly. You are not hungry and you keep losing weight. And here it was later on a little bit of a stagnation if we go forward, as my weight was closer and closer to probably what it should be. Therefore, it slows down, and I was doing more experimentation in the farther down the line period. And somewhere in here in May, I decided to test the egg diet. I heard a lot how magical it can be. Therefore, 50% of my calories for the following 6 weeks was from eggs. Then 50% of calories from eggs. And no, there was no magic happening. It is possible, nothing bad was happening, and unfortunately no magic either. Then all eggs, no magic. And this drop in weight, I was actually a little bit sick. Then it can be explained. I was a little bit sick, and then this following raise in the weight was related to the fact that I had a long weekend out and I was eating not very healthy and a lot. But at this point, I was testing as well what I actually eat and how many calories it is. The calorie tracking, maybe I will share that in the future, what are my results with tracking calories I consume. I don't generally like to do that. It's a lot of effort to track how much calories you consume. And somewhere in here, I think it was over with egg diet experiment. And what I started next, I decided to test the only supplement that I know it is proven to work, the creatine. For the season, for the summer, maybe look a little bit better. Then there is basically no changes in the weight. But if you look on the graph above, it's the period I was using creatine, you can see that the fat layer on my belly is still dropping. Then it is a good news, even though the weight is basically around 85 kilos. 85 kilos, 187 pounds. Then it is quite flat, and we are in the current state. How I look now, you probably want to see. I have a picture as I started tracking it and making update pictures for myself every 10 days. Then I will show you that too. Turtle without a shell once more. And that is my current update picture, current state. As you can see, I got rid of almost all the fat. I'm not even sure at this point if I need to keep dropping the weight or is it all right. But I'm still slightly too high if BMI is considered. I'm trying to figure out if I keep dropping weight or am I in good weight. Maybe you can let me know. I feel good at this moment. Then I feel good with my weight, although on the BMI scale, I'm still overweight by a little bit. And you can probably notice that even with this minimum amount of exercise I'm doing, minimum effort invested, I can see a little bit of a muscle on my body, which was not present a year ago. And this video is long enough already. If you made it through it, I hope you enjoyed this little presentation of turtle transformation. I will have more videos to come. I learned so many hacks that are helping me with weight management, improvement to my health, exercises, like no more headaches. I feel much more energetic than I was before. No problem with blood sugar, anything like that, even though my diet is still majority carbohydrate. Don't listen to people that will tell you that you need to stop eating carbohydrate to regulate your blood sugar. It's not true. A lot of things that people say in the internet is not true. And only way to figure out what is true is listen to both sides and then test it on yourself. That's what I did. And I will be sharing my findings, my research, and what helped me the most, and what is the least effort you can do to get the maximum result and actually see improvement. Turtle power, I feel good, how I feel good, and I hope I will feel even better as I want to play Fallout 5 and Fallout 6, and for that to happen, you need to care about your health a lot, as they do release those games so slowly. For more Fallout content, check out Angry Turtle channel, and now I wish you all a good day or night. Turtle signing out. See you in the next one.